So I've now worked with over 1,000 OnlyFans management agencies, and here are the 7 biggest pitfalls that I see between all of them. Whether you're just starting out or you're already making maybe 10, 20, 30,000 a month, but you're struggling to get to 100K a month. Make sure you pay attention to this video. I'm gonna go through the 7 biggest pitfalls on how you can, what are they and how you can avoid them. And then I'm gonna give you the actual solution at the end of the video as well. So first of all, one of the biggest ones that I see is that typically about 2 to 3 of their clients make up about 80% of their income of the entire agency. So if they're making $10,000 a month of their agency, there'll be, for example, 2 clients that are making $4,000 a month each, therefore, making $8,000 a month. And if those 2 clients leave, you don't really have an agency anymore, right? Which means you have a very high risk tolerance. So, and obviously at bigger levels, it's more scary because sure, if you lose a client that's only making $4,000 a month, it is what it is. But what if you lose a client that's making $80,000 a month and your agency only makes, let's just say 100K. So therefore she makes the 80% of the income. So this is one of the first mistakes that I see. And it's natural that typically you will have obviously some clients that will be doing far better than most other clients. However, it really does come down to having as many clients as possible to make sure that you reduce that risk. So if one does leave, the rest of them make up for it, right? So that's the first one. We're also going to talk about later in the video on how you can fix that and overcome this. So the next problem that a lot of agencies struggle with is struggles with very low reply rates on their outreach DMs, and or struggles with actually getting the OF creators on the Zoom call with them. So a lot of people will send out loads of messages, but they just don't get opened or they don't get any responses. Or third option is they sometimes get the odd response, but to get the actual creator to show up on that Zoom call and actually agree to jump on a call with them, they struggle with it, right? Because you send out a message or you send out 100 messages, only 2 or 3 responses perhaps you get, and then somebody goes, okay, what percentage do you take? And then you say what percentage you take, and then they're not interested anymore, right? And there are so many other variations of how and why people make mistakes within outreach. But the biggest one is the fact that you just don't get a load of responses in the first place. And I just see this time and time again, and people get burnt out essentially, right? They send out so many messages, they don't get any responses, and no meetings booked. We're currently booking around 5 to 6 meetings a day. I mean, that's an all-time high. At worst case, we can be doing 1 to 2 a day. Consistently, 1 to 2 every single day. And again, later in the video, I'll show you exactly how we're doing that, right? So the next thing in terms of pitfalls is constantly having issues with consistent viral content to be able to bring in new quality subs in daily for their clients. So perhaps, let's just say on average, their client is doing 10,000 views per reel. And then like there's the odd one that gets 200,000 views, which then has a bit of a spike in new subscribers for that, the next day or two, and that's it. And then they're going back down. And it's really inconsistent. There's no consistency. Some videos don't really get any views at all. And then maybe once a month, you get one that gets above 200, 300,000 views, but it's very inconsistent, right? Now, what if you could have a system and you could have a way where every single one of your reels that your model posts, overall on average, increases by viewer rate on a weekly and a monthly basis, right? So, first week, they're averaging about 10,000. Next week, they're averaging about 14, 15,000. Next week, they're averaging about 20,000, right? And they're consistently growing rather than just kind of going, 1,000, 3,000, 1,000, 2,000, 50,000, and then 1,000, 2,000, right? So what if there was a way to stay consistent and actually get better quality of subscribers in as well, right? There is a way. So I'll talk to you guys about that in just a second. The next one is lack of consistent content from the creators, which means they constantly waste time having to follow up with the clients or wait for the content, right? I hear this one all the time where people are like my clients just aren't making the content. Or you're just having to constantly follow up with them, message them, hey, where's this content? We're still waiting for this custom, and so on and so on. That comes down to so many different things. And again, I'll go through that right here, as you guys can see our solution. So I'll go through those in a bit in the video. But again, if this is what you're struggling with, or if you're just starting out, you're not yet, you will. Most people struggle with these things. There is a solution to this, absolutely. I think a lot of it comes down to both the onboarding and managing expectations, making sure you have the right systems in place, and also goal setting. Goal setting is a massive one. If there isn't necessarily a set goal on how and why your creator is creating content, or your client is creating content and how and why is she trying to make money, then there's no real reason, right? Whereas if you guys set goals, that in itself will help massively already, right? Cool. The next one. Trying all these black hat marketing methods that just don't end up working, which means they're consistently wasting time on trying to figure out what works for content. Again, this one kind of ties in with trying to consistently go viral, because typically what will happen is you'll sign on a model at 50%, which obviously means you have to do half of the work, right? Which typically means it's not just the chatting, it's both the chatting and the marketing, trying to help get new subscribers in through the door. And what most agencies do is they'll just send a few content ideas, a few viral TikToks to recreate, and that's about it. And it doesn't work. Well, yeah, there's a reason why that doesn't work, because it's not 2020 anymore. Times have changed. You have to think outside the box and be a bit more creative than that. And we have systems that can help you fix this. Again, I'm going to go through that later on. And then the last two, but last but not least, keeping both clients and the staff motivated to keep putting in effort. Typically, we'll start off very well, and then work ethic and results will slowly start to diminish with the coming months, right? So when you start working with either a new client or a staff member, whether it's a chatter or somebody in the marketing team, they're super excited, they're pumped up. You can see their work ethic is incredible. Everything is going really well. And then all of a sudden, week in and month in, you're starting to see slower responses, worse chatting ratios, slower responses to the clients, and so on, right? And how do you actually avoid that? How do you keep them motivated and keep that consistency? Again, I can talk to you about that. And then horrible onboarding process. So set no clear guidelines, no clear expectations. Clients are constantly expecting more and never satisfied. Therefore, you constantly feel like you're just putting out fires with clients every day. So, for example, even if you think that it's been a good or at least an okay month, your clients are still like, no, this is shit. This is really bad. Like, what's going on? Like, this is so bad, etc. Right? If you have any of these issues right now, most likely, if you're already running your agency, you probably have most of them, right? Now, there are good news. There are solutions to all this stuff. So this is where our coaching comes in. So within our mentorship program, we help you with all of these. And let me just walk you through them real quick. And by the way, if you're brand new, there is a free course, which we literally teach you how to get started, get your first client. So if that's you, there's a link down below. If you're completely brand new, it's free. I don't want anything. You just click it down below. You can watch it. It's a 4-part online course that you can watch on how to get started with the business model. So these are the things that we actually help with our inner circle. So our paid mentorship, this is where we give you coaching calls, jump on Zoom calls, really help you scale your actual agency, right? So first things first is positioning. So we will cover how to not only position yourself differently online so you stand out from the competition, but more importantly, position yourself as the absolute authority that allows you to get clients agreeing to work with you on a 60-40 split in favor for you. So you'd be taking 60%, right? And for some people that are watching this, it might be like, well, that's fucking insane. How and why would that ever happen? Well, it comes down to one, being incredibly great at delivering the service and over-delivering and getting great results, which I'll show you guys in just a second in this video on how and why. And it just makes sense, right? And the second thing is, in order to do that, typically you tend to hire more people. Therefore, you're able to have faster responses to your clients, better onboarding, better service delivery, help with more content, editing, distribution, more chatting, of course, and so on. Now, everything that I just mentioned there, that costs money, right? You're not running a charity. You're not having people that work for free for you. So all of these things, because you're providing a better service, which then ends up getting better results, that all costs money, hence why you need to charge more. So that's how you're able to charge 60%. But also it's about positioning, as I mentioned right here. So positioning comes down to, look at me as an example. Look at all of my YouTube videos. Look at my social media, my Instagram, my TikTok, right? My Twitter even. I constantly talk about how and why we're the best, but I don't just talk about it. I also show, I preach, I do what I preach, right? I show you guys the results. Again, later in this video, I'll show you some more results. I have client interviews with actual creators that we're currently managing. We're showing real life earnings on a daily and a weekly basis. And we're constantly positioning ourselves as the authority. Myself, I actually am the authority, in my opinion, in OFM, but we can teach you guys how to do that. And the bonus with doing this is this will actually allow you to get inbound leads. And inbound leads means the clients will be messaging you. So yeah, sure, you can still do outreach and still try and get more clients. But if you do this correctly, you can get messages like this. This is on my Instagram, literally just yesterday. I just randomly took the screenshot. This is one of a couple that I got yesterday. This is a girl that just reached out saying, hey, are you taking on clients, right? We genuinely get these on a daily basis, multiple. You know, some days maybe like 1 or 2, but typically we can genuinely get up to 3 to 5 a day, every single day. And by the way, this is on Instagram and also Facebook and Twitter, right? So anyway, so we teach you guys exactly how to position yourself as the authority, how to create that content, how to put yourself out there, how to look like the authority, especially even if you're just starting out, to then be able to get clients messaging you, right? This just makes your life so much easier. Cool. The next one is outreach. So we'll teach you the exact systems that we have set up that we use for outreach that is allowing us to get our calendars booked with daily calls and appointments with new models. This means that we can get the best of the best clients that have huge untapped potential, right? So when I say the best of the best, it doesn't mean that they are making 100K a month already. No, like the best of the best just simply means that they're all in. They're happy to create content all day, every day, like they're all in. They're happy to create all sorts of content. They're quite good in front of the camera already. And, you know, we can really create them as a influencer or an online celebrity, which again, I'll talk to you about that in just a second, what that means. But, you know, if you execute this correctly, and, you know, our team just doesn't send out a couple of messages from our Instagram. No. Here's what that can look like, right? This is our Calendly. So this is our calendar. At the time of this recording, it is the 23rd of November. I don't know if that's inwards. I think that's actually backwards. But yeah, it's the 23rd of November, so I literally just took the screenshot now. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 calls on the calendar today. And each color represents the lead coming from a different source, right? So the orange one is my personal Instagram. So this is where we have a virtual assistant logged into my Instagram that sends out messages. So 2 came from my Instagram. The green one, or like the lime green one, I guess, is outreach pages. So these would be theme pages, perhaps second alt accounts of me. So there's 3 booked in from that. And then the kind of mint green color is affiliates booking. So these are other people that we haven't hired. They are perhaps influencers, celebrities, DJs, artists, you name it. We reach out to them to then find clients for us, and we give them a referral, right? And again, we teach you guys how do you actually set this up the correct way. Make sense? Hopefully these things are clicking with you guys. Next one is the marketing. Now, this is by far the biggest bottleneck most agencies have. When it comes to scaling past $100,000 a month in profit, the keyword consistently. Sure, I know a lot of people that have got to 50 to 100K a month with their agency for maybe 1 or 2 months. And then what happens is they under-deliver, they don't have a great service or an offer, the client leaves, and the reason why they were able to get to 50, 100K a month, by the way, is because they just signed on one client who was already making perhaps 100K a month, right? You under-deliver, the client leaves, and therefore you're gone back down to maybe making just $10,000 a month. Which, by the way, for you, if $10,000 a month is life-changing, then, bro, I mean, you can easily do this with this business model. Honestly, it's very, very fucking doable. We literally have over 1,000 people in our paid mentorship program, and there's tons and tons and tons of people that are actively doing that. Anyway, so the marketing is the biggest thing that people fuck up on. We have a completely different approach to marketing and generating quality subscribers in through the door for our clients. We make real online celebrities and influencers, and we can teach you the exact systems we use for our clients to turn a struggling OF creator who's barely making $1,000 a month to a consistent $30,000 a month earner. Right? And in terms of social media, you know, you could be looking at numbers like this, you know, 12 million plays, or basically 13 million, 16.2 million accounts actually reached, 45 million views, 74 million views, 6.7 million accounts reached, 500 million views on YouTube, which is absolutely incredible, right? And there's a way to do it. And I'll tell you now, the way to do it is not to just find a viral TikTok and just send it to the model to recreate it and just get them to post it themselves. It is also not to have loads of proxies going on and have like 10 different iPhones here and have different US SIM cards, and it's none of that, right? There is a way to do it, but It's actually a lot simpler than that. And the thing is, it's simple, but it's not easy. Like if it was easy, obviously everybody would be doing it. But there is a specific way to do it. And that's exactly what we teach in our mentorship program, right? Okay, cool. And by the way, as well, once you fix this, everything else falls in line. Because the way we do it, we actually get our creators to create content that they actually enjoy, that they actually want to do. So no longer do we have to chase them up for content because they're unmotivated. They want to talk. They want to talk about these things. They want to create content about the topics that we tell them to do. Right? They don't have to do like these cringy ass little dances that they maybe don't want to be doing. Right? So anyway, everything falls into place because not only are you getting more views, consistent, the client is very happy to create this content, he or she is creating content more of, and everything just falls into place, right? And it also exponentially grows on itself. It's like a snowball effect. So sure, the first couple of weeks might start a little bit slow, and then every single week you're growing a consistent couple of thousand views and a couple of thousand followers. And before you know it, you're at 100, 200,000 followers, and that's when you're making 20, 30, 50, $100,000 a month. It genuinely can scale that quickly. And then last but not least is the chatting, right? So I just realized I needed to put number 4 here. But the thing about chatting, is the most agencies face is not realizing the full potential of each subscriber. So what they will do is a subscriber comes in and they'll just try and rinse them for like $15 or $20 or $100, and that's about it, right? What you're actually failing to do is to actually build that online connection with that subscriber, getting to understand the avatar, like who is this person, what are they into, who are they, what do they like, and also get them to come back. Like that's the thing that most people fuck up on. Most people just want to quickly rinse them for as much money as possible, and then that's it, right? You have to understand and learn the psychology behind how and why would somebody actually even come onto the platform, how and why they would come back to the platform and keep spending more money. There's a way to reward the actions that they take. So if they're very blunt or they're very rude or they don't want to spend any money, there's a way to react to that, right? Whereas alternatively, once they do spend money and they do interact and they are nice to your creator, your clients, you then want to reward them, right? And it's all about psychology. You have to understand these things, how they work, right? And if you're currently making, let's just say on average, $1,000 in subscriptions, and you're making from that, you're making about $5,000 in messages, you seriously need to reconsider how your chatting team is set up. Because I mean, those ratios, sure, you can get by, but you can do seriously a lot better, right? There needs to be a proper, thorough training in place for your chatters and your chatting team. You need to have daily team calls, screen monitoring in place, daily and weekly challenges, games, and prizes for the entire team. This is what's going to ensure that your team actually performs, stays consistent, motivated, and actually does better month in and month out, right? And with all of that combined, you can start to see results like this. I mean, look, this is a creator we took on. We actually took her on mid/end of July. And there's a reason why it went crazy in August is because we used our marketing method, right? It takes time. It's not like we're not spending money, by the way, right? Just so you're fully aware, it's not like we spent, I don't know, let's just say $10,000 to make 32. That wasn't it. It's all organic. However, there's a lot of testing that goes on to make sure we actually hit it the right way. Once it clicks, everything will explode in the right way, and you're going to have a consistent, incredible growth month in and month out. And that's how you can see results like this. So if this is something that you're interested, again, check out the link down below. If you're brand new, there's a course for free. There's a 4-step part that will teach you what is OFM, how to get started, and so on. Again, if you're brand new, I mean, look, you're taking 50% of this. You sign on a client that's struggling, he or she is making $1,000 a month, and then you sign them on at 50%. You implement what we just teach you. You do everything exactly how we teach you, and if in the first month you're able to scale to $32,000 and you take 50% of that, granted you have a few expenses such as chatters, and then eventually you're gonna have a media team and so on, but still, I mean, 50% of 32 grand wouldn't be too bad of an income for a little side business, right? So anyway, if you're interested in the actual mentorship, you can message me directly on Instagram. It's at Marcus Hustle. I'll leave that down probably in a pinned comment as well. Be sure to drop me a message that you watched this video and you'd like to book a call with me. All right, cool. See you there.